Good afternoon and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers, or CACRAO, and StriveScan. We appreciate you joining us this afternoon. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can utilize the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions taking place through this partnership with CACRAO and StriveScan, so feel free to check out the full list of offerings on CACRAO's website at cacrao.org. Lastly, this session will be recorded and made available shortly after it has been concluded on CACRAO's website. Now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters so that they can begin their session.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for joining us today. My name is Kelly Barnett. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Admission here at Lenoir-Rhyne University. We are so honored that you have taken the time out of your afternoon to join us and hear a little bit more about LR, as we call it. So I'm going to turn it over now to Shayla Diaz, who will give you a little bit more information about walking through the college search process with us here at LR. Shayla is one of our enrollment counselors and has been with us for a few years now, so you all are in good hands with her. After that, you're going to hear a little bit more from Cami Howard, one of our Bears of Distinction, and she will give you a virtual campus tour, and then we will conclude with some Q&A as well. So Shayla, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, thank you so much, Kelly. So I'm really excited that you guys could be here with us today. So just really thank you for taking some time out of your day to be here. This presentation should be fairly short, and really our goal with it is for you to understand what the college search process is like. It's not only LR specific, so we hope that you can take very valuable information with you today. So we're going to start just with what the general enrollment process looks like, and we broke it up here into 4 different periods or sections, whatever you want to look at it. But there's a preparation period, application period, financial aid, and a deposit period, and it just kind of moves forward. So working with students, a lot of them think that really the college process is just applying and it's over, but no, unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, it is a year-long process. And just as it says right there at the bottom, this does not end when you deposit. Your enrollment process continues until all of your documentation and forms have been processed and you are enrolled for your first semester coursework. So a little bit more in depth to each one of these sections. The preparation period, which is if you are, currently a senior, this is probably where you've already been and you're moving really into the application period, because this is where all universities are right now. Anybody before, senior year that's with us today, you're definitely in this preparation stage. And what you want to do here is you want to create your list of universities that you're interested in, and you want to study their admission process. So make sure that you're going to their websites, that you're calling admissions counselors. You do not have to wait until senior year to start connecting with the admissions counselor. So keep that in mind, that you can definitely do that before senior year, just so that you know exactly what their admission process looks like and you're best prepared. And also look into outside scholarships, and that's super important, and we'll talk a little bit more about that down the road here. The second stage or period is the application period. And this is where you're submitting those applications. So you've already done all of the preparation. You know what it's going to take to submit your full application to your universities. And now you're submitting those applications, and you're submitting any additional materials that you need. So that could be your test scores for the ACT or SAT. It could be cover letters, personal statements, resumes, letters of recommendation, etc. Then once you are past the application period, you will start the financial aid period. And sometimes you'll start the financial aid period before you even know about your admission decision to a certain university. So these kind of merge in together. But financial aid period is when you're submitting your FAFSA. And you're continuing to look at outside scholarships, you're reviewing your award letters or your offer letters, and I'll save a little bit of information for our further slides. since we do have some very valuable information on this. And then, of course, your deposit period, which is when you finalize your decision and you submit your enrollment deposit. You say hello to your new university and goodbye to all the other ones that you didn't choose. You finish all documentation needed and you fully enroll to start your classes. So hopefully that gives you a brief view of what you can expect for your entire college search year. So there's some things to keep in mind. First of all, not all universities are a part of the Common App. Not all universities require test scores. Most universities highly encourage that you file FAFSA, but FAFSA is not required. Application deadlines are very important, and that you look into the types of deadlines that they are is even more important. So for example, some deadlines are binding, which means that if you apply during that deadline and you are accepted, then you are fully committing to that university. So if that university is your top choice and you're completely okay with that and happy about that, great. But if not, then you want to just really keep an eye out, make sure you're not applying during a binding period. And then just overall, every university has a different enrollment process, which is why the preparation and the research period is so important. So let's talk a little bit about LR now, and you'll get to know about our specific enrollment process. So we are a small liberal arts private institution. We have about 1,700 students here on campus. We do have 3 campuses. There's one in Asheville and one in Columbia, South Carolina, but our main one is in Hickory, and that's the one we'll focus on today since it is the one that hosts all of our undergraduate students. Our top majors are anything in nursing, exercise science, our health sciences, business, education, and psychology and music. Criminal justice is one of them that is really popping up right now. But we do have over 50 different majors, and you are welcome to double major and you are welcome to minor if you are interested in doing that. We have a student-teacher ratio of 13:1. And actually, let me correct myself there. It has just gone down to 12:1. So we continue with the small class sizes. So definitely if you're interested in the small class sizes, LR might be a university that you want to look into. Our average class size is 17. The largest amount of students you might have in a class is maybe 30 students, but honestly, it won't get larger than that. And I'm sure Cammie will talk to you a little bit about that from her perspective as a student. But yeah, so that's just a little rundown of what you can expect at LR. We really pride ourselves in the small class sizes and our professors, that our professors, 85% of them have terminal degrees, so they studied all they could. We don't have GAs or TAs teaching classes. They are very dedicated to student success, so there's just a vast amount of support for all of our students here at LR. So I'm really excited for you guys to learn a little bit more about that. I don't want to ruin it for Cammie because I know she has a lot to share with you guys. So the application process itself, first you will submit your application at lr.edu/apply. Because you are here today, please use the waiver code that you see right here, and it's LR Visit in all caps. And this, of course, makes it so that you don't have to pay to apply. Required items to complete your application will be the application itself and your high school transcript. So this has to include your senior year coursework. We understand that you're not going to have grades on there for senior year. That's completely okay. We just want to see your list of classes to make sure that you are taking all the required courses you need. Our optional items, as of this year, we have officially gone test optional, so we're really excited to announce that to all of our future bears. So if you do not want to submit your test course, you do not have to. However, if you do, you are welcome to do so. And every other item on here, so your essay, personal statement, letters of recommendation, and resume are also optional, but if you wish to submit them to us, we are more than welcome to receive them and attach them to your application. We really like to take the holistic approach when we are admitting students. So we love to get to know our students from, your personal statements or your letters of recommendation. However, not turning those in will not in any way count against you. So just rest assured that all you have to do is submit your application and your high school transcript, and that will complete your application. We do have 2 deadlines. One of them is fast approaching. It's October 16, and then we have our early notification deadline, which is November 13th. So they're about a month apart. You are still at a good time to meet our October 16 deadline. Something I left off is that our application isn't that long to fill out. Honestly, it'll probably take you no more than 15 minutes to submit that, and then just talk to your high school counselor about how to get us your high school transcript, and it should be complete in a very short amount of time. So the bullet points you see under each deadline are the benefits. The difference between the two is that our early notificants are not invited to our VIP event. So our VIP event is only for our priority accepted students. Both deadlines, though, are considered for scholarship day and for financial aid awards. However, our priority students are considered first. I'll talk a little bit more about scholarship day in the following slides. So just as a reminder, submitting your completed application, we have to receive all things before the deadline for you to meet the deadline. So you can't just submit your application and then if we receive your high school transcript October 17th, you're not going to meet the October 16th deadline. So just try to get everything to us as soon as possible. Admission decisions will be released immediately following each notification deadline, and all application periods are non-binding. So once again, you are not committing to LR if accepted during these deadlines. If anybody here is taking any form of advanced credit, so whether that is through an early college or dual enrollment, or you're taking AP credits, even IB credits, we do look at all of those. So really, that's awesome that you're taking those credits. You're a step ahead of the game in your classes. So we will not ask you to send us any college transcripts. All of these should be reflected in your high school transcript. We'll consider them then, and then when you make your final decision to attend LR, then we're going to do what's called a transfer evaluation, just to see how the classes will transfer into LR. We do have a transfer evaluation tool online, and you are more than welcome to use that and just go ahead and take a look at how your classes will transfer in with us. And if you have questions about the AP courses that transfer in with us as college credits, you're welcome to look at the website that we have right here, lr.edu/academics, and learn a little bit more about that. So financial aid, which is such a big part of your college search, because really at the end of the day, you go to the school that's gonna, provide the most aid for you, or that you have the most aid to use. We've divided this up into 4 different types of aid. So there is FAFSA, institutional aid, outside scholarships, and loans. And I'll go a little bit more in depth into each of these. Please keep in mind that financial aid award letters are generated for accepted students only, and that have sent us their FAFSA. So when you are filling out your FAFSA, whatever schools it is that you're interested in, make sure that you're adding their names to your list so that they can all receive your FAFSA. This will be sent, and by this I mean the award letter will be sent to the student at the email address provided on their application. So every school does that a little bit different, but here at LR we email them to our students. So a little bit more about FAFSA. This is the free application for federal student aid. So you should never have to pay to fill out your FAFSA. Federal and state aid is available through scholarships, grants, and loans. So they do determine if you're eligible for loans. Students who complete the FAFSA are more likely to attend college. Your FAFSA does open October 1st. So if you are currently a senior, that is a very important date, regardless of whether you're looking at LR or not. So you want to jot that down on your calendar or in your planner, that your FAFSA opens up October 1st and you need to fill out the application this year. You're not required to fill it out on October 1st. You do have time, but we highly encourage all students to fill it out as soon as possible after this opening date. And what this means also is that you continue to fill out your FAFSA every single year you're in college, and every single year it will open up October 1st. And juniors, it will open up the first, or your senior year, October 1st as well. So if you want to put in that date as well, it is really good to keep in mind. You can apply at FAFSA.gov and you'll have our LR code right there, but you can also access our LR code through our website or call us here, and we're more than happy to give that to you. Students who do not wish to complete their FAFSA must fill out the FAFSA non-filing form with our office, and that will waive your FAFSA application so that we can go ahead and generate your award letter. So the different types of institutional aid, and you'll see that we put and the LR promise here. And I'll dive a little bit more into each of these, but I really want to focus on what the LR promise is. So the LR promise is awarded to students who are residents of North Carolina and who have a 3.5 GPA at the moment of admittance. So if you qualify, if you meet those two requirements, then you qualify for the LR promise, which says that LR will make sure that 50% of your tuition is covered in aid. Now, what this means is that we're going to consider your FAFSA. So let's say FAFSA doesn't give you enough to cover that 50%. LR then comes in and gives you aid. Now, LR gives aid to all of our students. So honestly, no student ever pays our full tuition because we are able to give our students scholarships. So the first scholarship you're actually automatically considered for is the LR Scholars Award, and that's the first bullet point that you see right here. This is a merit-based scholarship based off of your GPA. So the higher GPA, the better the scholarship will be. And we don't have the numbers for this year, but just so you get a glimpse, last year this ranged from $13,000 to $25,000 a year. So that you add that along with whatever you receive from FAFSA, and a lot of our students are meeting the LR promise, which is something that makes us really happy. Scholarship Day, as promised, that I would talk to you a little bit more about this. It is a invitation only event, so students that qualify for this event are invited to come on campus, right? Hopefully we won't have to do this as a virtual event as well, but this would be an event in the spring, so we are really hopeful that you'll be able to come with us on campus. And our professors are the ones who lead this event, so they're the ones meeting our students, asking them questions, and they're the ones selecting the students that qualify for more institutional aid. And the aid that they receive is the program scholarship. So you'll see that the program scholarships is that third bullet point, and you can read a little bit more about those online. But if you're not invited to Scholarship Day, there are still some program scholarships that you are more than welcome to apply for. And I would highly encourage you that if LR, once you're accepted into LR, to start looking into these program scholarships, and even to just start seeing which ones you're interested in and when you can apply. We also have talent-based scholarships, and you can find the audition dates right there at lr.edu/audition. And the three scholarships that are considered, or the three programs that have talent-based scholarships, are our music programs, our theater program, and also our debate team. So any of those three, you'll find the information on that website, and you do not have to be a theater major, and you do not have to be a music major to be able to receive those scholarships. And of course, the debate team, you do have to be a part of the debate team. So definitely encourage you to look at those. If you are an athlete and you want to play at a collegiate level, then I encourage you to check out our lrbears.com website. You'll see a full list of all of the sports that we have. We are NCAA Division II, so we have over 20 different sports, men and women sports, and all of our coaches' information is on our website. So you, once again, go to lrbears.com and you'll find the staff directory with all of their contact info, and start getting your name out there. So our coaches are the ones that will schedule visits with you as a athlete recruit. They will talk to you about scholarships, and they're the ones that at the end of the day do give scholarships to our athletes. So they really like to see our students take the initiative first. So hopefully if you can't get in contact with them and you aren't already doing that, it's still a good time right now. I would encourage you to do that this semester if you're a senior instead of waiting until next semester. We do have Lutheran opportunities, and I'd like to pause a little bit right here and talk a little bit about faith on campus. We are affiliated with the Lutheran Church, which means that we have, a Religion 100 class that students have to take, but that's as far as it gets. So faith is not imposed on any student. Faith is what you make of it on campus. And one of the opportunities we have for students that do practice the Lutheran faith is the Lutheran Opportunities. So there's about 3 different scholarships. You can find them all on our website as well. But a lot of them are if your parent is a pastor or a deacon. Another one is if your church sponsors you, and actually 2 of them are if your church sponsors you. So I would definitely encourage you to look at those, and those are, once you're accepted for those are renewable. So you'll continue to receive those each year. And then of course there's the Legacy Scholarship. The Legacy Scholarship is if you have a parent or a grandparent that graduated from LR, just send us their name and their graduation year, and you get $1,000 every year added onto your award letter. Any institutional aid, so any aid that you receive from LR, cannot be combined to exceed the cost of tuition. So that is something we would like to remind you about. And we'll talk a little bit more about how you can exceed the cost of tuition with scholarships, and that is through the outside scholarships. So any outside scholarship you receive will be stacked onto your award letter. We are not going to take away any LR aid that you've received. Now is the time to start researching outside scholarships, whether you are in your senior year or anywhere before your senior year. It is never too early. It's never too late to look for outside scholarships. I remember even while I was already in undergrad, I continued looking for outside scholarships, and I was able to find plenty. Schedule a time when you can research. So really, guys, if you're interested in finding outside scholarships, this is going to be like a part-time job for you. You want to schedule an hour or 2 hours every week where you can just dedicate time to sit in front of a screen and look for these scholarships and apply. Narrow your searches by looking at specific qualities. So if you're left-handed, if you have red hair or blue eyes, like there's scholarships for that. I always tell the story how my sister got $500 off of the Dr. Pepper scholarship, and it was for anyone who loved Dr. Pepper. So nobody's going to come and just give you $500. So look at the scholarships that have, that are offering $10,000, $40,000, but also look at the ones that are offering $200, $500, $1,000. There's a lot less competition in those smaller amounts than there is, in the higher amounts. Everybody wants the $10,000. So loans, as far as they go, like I said, you are automatically considered for loans through your FAFSA. While you are considered, they are not automatically given to you. So there is still a whole process, which is the loan application process, where you say like, hey, yes, I do want these loans. So this application process starts in the spring after submitting your deposit, so you don't have to worry about it for a long time. And we do walk with you every step of the way. Students, like I said, automatically considered for these upon the completion of their FAFSA. There are student and parent loans available. And then of course, just keep in mind that loans are optional. So if you were approved for them and you don't want them, you just tell us that and we will take them off of your award letter. You can learn more about financial aid at lr.edu/financial aid, or you can contact us, your enrollment counselors. And just once again, when the time comes, we talk with you one-on-one to get all your questions answered for financial aid. So there should never be a moment in this process where you feel like you don't have anyone to go to for your questions. So your steps to becoming an LR Bear: first, you have to submit your deposit by May 1st, and May 1st is the deadline that most universities use for students to finalize that decision. Once you do that, then you will start, the official part of the enrollment process. But keep in mind that housing assignments are made in the order of the deposit date, that students have to submit a deposit before registering for class, and that first semester coursework is built in order of deposit date. So basically, the earlier you deposit, the better it is to hold your spot in line for all of these things. Steps to complete your enrollment will include you attending new student orientation called The Charge, setting up your LR accounts, filling out your housing form, and your health and immunization forms. So next steps for you, depending on where you are in this process, I'm just really going to focus on this juniors and seniors. Since our freshmen and our sophomore, you can take a whole bunch of information from our juniors and seniors as well. But juniors, just keep in mind that for your senior year, your application will open up August 1st, and your FAFSA opens up October 1st. Seniors, your important deadlines are our priority and early notification dates, which are October 16th and November 13th. So you want to make sure to submit your application before those deadlines. We do have rolling admissions, so if at any point you can't meet those deadlines and you still want to apply, please go ahead and do so, and make sure to file your FAFSA this coming October. Once again, once you receive your award letter, we're going to schedule that one-on-one appointment to discuss your financial aid. And just for all of our students here present and our parents, we highly encourage you that when the chance is given to come and visit us, do an in-person visit. We are now officially open for in-person visits. We accept one family per visit time, just to reduce any risk and just for the safety of all of you as our visitors, but also of our faculty, our staff, and our students. But we would definitely love to be able to meet you, first of all, and just show you what LR is all about. And with that, you do have, or you will see right here at the bottom, our admission email. So if you have any questions, feel free to email us. We are here to answer any question that you might have. And I will pass this over to Cami, who will now talk to you a little bit more about the student side of LR. Thank you so much, Cami.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be able to share my campus with y'all. So I do want to tell you a little bit about myself. As Shayla said, my name is Cami Howard. I'm a junior studying English and secondary education with a minor in psychology, and I'm from Huntersville, North Carolina, so I'm kind of local. A couple of things that I'm a part of on campus is teaching scholars. I'm a part of fraternity and sorority life, and I am also the worship leader for Delight Ministries. So I believe that we are ready to go ahead and kick it off, and I'm going to show y'all Rhyme Building. So this is Rhyme Building. This is one of our main academic buildings. So most of your first year courses will be in this building. A lot of my English courses are in here, as well as maybe some math classes, history, language classes as well, and some communication classes as well. We do have a small classroom size. We do have a 12-to-1 professor to student ratio, so 12 students to 1 professor. And our average class size is about 17. Personally, my smallest class was 4 people, and my largest class was only 21 people. I got to really get to know the professor as well as my fellow students, and usually you'll have the same professor as you continue on into your major. My absolute favorite professor is Dr. Heller. She's also my English advisor. She's become a very special person to me, and she always looks out for me. And that's something that you can expect from all of the professors here at Lenoir-Rhyne. We also do have a liberal arts core curriculum. This means that we also have a convocation program. Our convocation program is set in place to make sure that everyone is becoming a well-rounded student. So there's different little mini sessions throughout the year, and there's over 200 convocations that you can attend, but you only have to attend 8. A couple of my favorite categories are professional development, creative development, as well as spiritual development. They really impact you all throughout your 4 years at LR. My personal favorite was the Visiting Writers series. I had the amazing opportunity to introduce Min Jin Lee, who wrote Pachinko, and that was in the top 5 best fictional novels of 2018. We do this a lot with all of our authors, and you might catch a famous author giving a class, you never know. This is the Lohr Learning Commons as well as our Rudisill library. The Lohr Learning Commons is here as a tutoring center that is already built into your tuition, so you don't need to put any extra money into going and getting the tutoring if you decide to do so. We have the math tutoring lab as well as a writing lab upstairs in the library. This is a super, super awesome program for all students to use. They do appointments, so it's super easy to be able to go up there if you don't understand something or you just need a little bit of help on your paper. We also do have a study abroad program, and we were awarded a $5.2 million endowment. So study abroad is something that we really, really love at LR, and we will personally work with your schedule. Sometimes science majors or pre-med think that they can't have the opportunity to go study abroad due to their schedule, but we do 2-week or a Maymester or a full year or a summer program. It's really dependent on what you want in your personalized schedule. We also do have a career center upstairs. The career center is not only available to students, but also alumni. The career center is there for you to build your resume, do a mock interview for your first really big job, as well as, like I said, building your resume. And this is also available to you after you graduate from LR. So if you want to change up your jobs, that is what the Career Center is there for. And they can also help you out with other job searches. This is Alex and Lee George Hall. This is one of our science buildings, and off to the right a little bit, you can see some extra brick. That is our Mindy Science building as well. They are connected. This is one of my favorite buildings on campus because it has absolutely beautiful natural light. This is also where most of our science classes are. So we do require a science class for all of our students to take. It doesn't necessarily have to be biology or chemistry. It can be geology or astrology as well. This is also a really, really great place to do some research opportunities. One of my dear friends actually just got her fish, some zebrafish, to study about how different temperatures of water can affect their rehabilitation skills and growing patterns. So that's something super awesome that you can participate in when you come to LR. Again, this is the lobby with a bunch of natural light. It's, again, one of my favorite places. And there's a ton of study spots in this building as well. So if you want somewhere safe and quiet to kind of relax and do your homework or even hang out with some friends, this area is absolutely amazing for that. And again, you don't have to worry about all the fluorescent lights. All the natural light is absolutely beautiful. As I said before, we do have some research labs as well. Our research labs are state-of-the-art, and they are built for that specific class. So we have only a biology lab and a specific chemistry lab with all of the supplies in those labs as well. This is Cromer Center. So Cromer Center is very similar to a student union. If you've been to other universities and they talk about a student union, this is kind of what Cromer Center is. This is kind of like the hub for everything in all of student life. So this is an absolute wonderful, great hangout spot. I actually sit here every single Monday, and I do my Bible study as well as get some coffee and some food and enjoy the beautiful hickory weather. This is also where you can come and sit down. We have a wood burning fireplace, which makes Cromer smell absolutely amazing, and you can kind of hang out by the fire with your friends, relax on some couches, do some homework. And we also do have some dining options in this building as well. This is our dining hall. This has many options available to you, from salads, pizza, home style, and an absolutely amazing dessert bar as well. So we have ice cream, brownies, you name it, they probably have it in this dining hall. We also did just build a Chick-fil-A in our Cromer Center. So that's something that I personally love. Just because I love Chick-fil-A, I'm a big Chick-fil-A fanatic, as well as a coffee fanatic. We do have a Starbucks on campus that you can use either your meal exchanges for or your Bear Bucks for. It's really up to you. This is our beautiful Grace Chapel. Grace Chapel is one of, again, my favorite buildings. I kind of love the campus if you can't tell. But something super, super awesome about this building is that everything in here, except for the pipe organ that we'll show you in just a little bit, is from North Carolina. So I like to call this kind of like the center of North Carolina. It really brings everybody on campus right in our chapel, and it's absolutely amazing. We do have a Religion 100 requirement here at LR, but it's not so that we can convert you to Christianity or anything like that. Faith is what you make it here at LR. It's more of the theology behind Christianity and other religions as well. We hold chapel every single Wednesday during combo hour, which is from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. There's also opportunities outside of the chapel for you to fulfill that convocation requirement. We have tons of campus ministries as well as an amazing a cappella choir group that you can see in this picture. A little story about them is that they actually got to tour Ireland, I believe, last year, and they got to sing all around the country and give a little bit of American culture, and they received some Irish culture back. So again, study abroad opportunities are absolutely amazing here. So this is the charge. The charge is kind of like our main group spot. So if you're meeting up with a club or you're meeting up with some friends, you say, hey, meet me at the charge. This is the amazing bear that they're talking about. We have over 60 clubs and organizations here on campus. So you can be as involved as you want on campus. And if you don't really see the perfect fit for you, you can always create your own club with a constitution, 5 members, and a staff member ready to help you. So next we are going to talk about some first-year housing opportunities. This is Eisenhower Hall. This is a suite style bedroom. So it's going to be you and a roommate in this room, and then there's a shared bathroom in between, and then there's another 2 people on the other side. The bathroom will be only shared between gender, so there will never be like female, female, and male roommates living together. It will just be female and female and male and male. You might live across the hall, but they will not be able to enter into your room without your permission. You get everything in wood in the rooms, as well as a wonderful mattress. And Eisenhower is centralized air as well, so you do not have any control about how hot or cold you want the room to be, but this is an amazing opportunity for you to live on campus, and it's a short walk to your classes as well. This is Conrad Hall, Fritz and Conrad. Fritz and Conrad is a community style residence hall. It is you and a roommate. Again, you won't be sharing a bathroom with another gender. Gender is separated by floor. You get everything in wood again in your room, and you actually get your own AC unit. So you can make it as hot or cold as you want. You also have, this is the safest opportunity if you want an extra safety precaution. There's this 3-swipe program installed in Fritz and Conrad. So you swipe once to get into the lobby, swipe again to either get into the elevator or the hall, and then swipe again to go into your hall if you go up the stairs. This is my favorite residence hall because this is where I lived my first year at LR. This is Morgan Hall. This is also a community style residence hall. You get everything in wood, and you can decorate it as much as you want, just like what these 2 roommates did. They make it super homey. You also get your own AC unit in Morgan Hall as well. So again, you can make it as hot as cold as you want. You get everything in wood, as well as some built-in shelves, a desk, and you have built-in closet or a freestanding closet as well. Something that I really love about Morgan Hall is that it is right behind our Moretz football stadium. So if you don't feel like you want to go out in the cold during a tailgate or during a football game, you can stay inside in the warm and kind of hang out in your room and watch the game, as well as some practices. Over 1/3 of our student population are athletes. So we really, really love our athletes, and we want to make sure that, you know, academics do come first, and all of our coaches do understand that, and they want to see you be the best person and student that you can be. If you're interested, again, in athletics, you can always visit the LR website and contact some coaches if you want to set some meetings up. This is our brand new weight room for our athletes. Everything in Neil McGahee Sports Performance Center. is custom made to our athletes. So all of the workout plans and everything like that is custom made for our athletes. And then this is Shoe for Gym. Shoe for Gym is not only used for basketball or volleyball, but also as some organization fairs. So there might be some job organization fairs as well as some student life opportunities for you to go and visit. This is also where Bear Nation is super present. Bear Nation is all of our students coming together and rooting on all of our athletics. We also do have a program called Bears Supporting Bears, where other athletic teams go and support another athletic team. So you might catch basketball at baseball or softball at soccer. So it's a super awesome opportunity for all of our athletes to go to. So of course, we can't end without telling y'all about Joe Bear. Joe Bear is our amazing mascot. He certainly does represent everything about LR, and you can catch him sometimes around campus, either studying in the library or hanging out in Cromer and talking with us. And don't forget to make sure to follow Lenoir-Rhyne University on all of our social media. So we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, as well as Zeme. Zeme is a super awesome app that you'll actually be able to connect to students with over the summer and throughout the year. But yeah, I really enjoyed being able to show you our beautiful campus. And I believe next up is Kelly to answer all of our questions if you have any.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cami. And thanks, students, for tuning in with us. So at this time, we have about 4 minutes left of the session. So I do want to turn it over to Q&A. So like we shared at the beginning of this session, you are welcome to pop any questions into the Q&A that you have about Lenoir-Rhyne University, and we are happy to answer those for you. While you guys are typing, hopefully, I do want to talk a little bit more, like Cami mentioned, about Zeme. So for those of you who have applied to Lenoir-Rhyne, it's not too early to connect with us on this platform. You literally just download Zeme, Z-E-E-M-E-E, from the App Store, and then engage on the Lenoir-Rhyne University community. And you can meet other students who have applied to LR and are, you know, when we get to the point of our first acceptance round, who are accepted to LR, and, you know, meet some folks that you'll be future classmates with. So Cami, I'll toss this question to you. Brianna wants to know, what are some of the more popular clubs among students?
Yeah, of course. I would have to say probably our ministry clubs, as well as our intramural sports. I was a proud representation of the Teaching Scholars flag football team. It's a great opportunity, and we almost won. And also, as well as fraternity and sorority life. They have a very big presence on our campus.
Cool. Very good. Thank you. What about student government? Do we have a lot of folks who are involved with student government?
Yes, we do. We have the Republicans as well as the Democrats were just instated for our students to be a part of. And it's a super awesome opportunity. We actually just put up signs for registration to vote all across campus, really encouraging our students to take their voice to the next level and express what they're feeling with everything going on. So it's a super great opportunity. If you want to get more information, you can find their contacts on the LR website as well.
Cool. Thanks, Kimmy. So another student wants to know if we do early college for freshmen. So please you clarify your question if I don't get to the answer of this, but we do offer some dual enrollment high school programs for students who are local to this area, yes. But again, those are application only programs. So you can reach out to us directly for more information if you are a student here in Catawba County or you live close by and want more information about those programs.
And just to add on to that, Kelly, just in case you're asking, I think it was Brooklyn who was asking, if we accept early college students, then yeah, the answer is definitely yes. You still apply as a first-year student, not a transfer, so just make sure you're filling out the right application, and there's no need to get us any college transcripts just yet. Your high school transcript will suffice.
Thank you, Shayla. Thanks for clarifying that. One last question that I'll answer here and maybe let Cami speak to a little bit. what are some activities that we would recommend to most, if not all, freshmen? That's a big question. So I would say my advice is get as involved as you can your freshman year without spreading yourself too thin. Greek recruitment, whether fraternity or sorority, is a really good way to get to know people. You'll also, like Cami said in her tour, have the opportunity to hear and see a little bit more about clubs and organizations that LR offers when you first arrive next fall, if you're a senior this year. Cami, any last minute advice that you would share or tack onto that?
If you do decide to go to LR, we also do a newsletter every single week, giving you opportunities to go outside of campus. So we had a couple of hiking opportunities where groups of students, socially distanced, of course, went up to the mountains and we did some hiking opportunities. So that's something like non-conventional, outside of the box, that you could also think about doing.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you all for your questions. You're welcome to reach out to us at admission@lr.edu if you have any other questions that you would like for us to answer. We can forward those along to Cami or Shayla, or I can answer them too. Okay. Thanks again for joining us, folks.
All right. Thank you for joining the session. It was incredibly informative. We ask that when you close your window that you fill out our 4-question survey. It should appear when you close it. We also encourage you to sign up for more sessions. You can find these on the CACRAO website at cacrao.org. And a recording of this particular session will be made available on that same website shortly after it has concluded. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.